Hello everyone, welcome to Achievers IAS classes. Let's begin our discussion on the current events of 16th May 2018. The first issue in news today is regarding the draft scheme submitted by the central government in the Supreme Court to implement the Supreme Court verdict in the Kaveri river water sharing case. As we saw yesterday, the scheme intends to set up a two-tier structure with an apex body charged with the power to ensure compliance with the final order and a regulation committee that will monitor the field situation and water flow. The powers and functions of this authority are fairly comprehensive and would extend from appointment to regulation as well as control of Kaveri waters. The draft scheme makes the decision of the authorities final and binding but also has an ambiguous clause which states that if any of the states is non-cooperative, it can seek center's help and the center's decision in this regard will be final and binding. This can either be seen as an enabling clause to resolve the situation or as one that gives scope for the center to intervene on behalf of one state. Therefore, to do away with such apprehensions, it would be better if center is not given the final say but is mandated to help the implementation of the tribunal's award. Further, there are few differences between the Kaveri Management Board as proposed by the tribunal and the authority proposed in the scheme, particularly the representatives from the four states would be administrators rather than engineers as proposed by the tribunal. In spite of all these shortcomings, the scheme is a positive step as the issue which concerns the livelihood of thousands of farmers is finally taken out of the political domain and entrusted to experts. We'll further look into the issue based on future developments. For now, let's look into the next one, which is regarding the new data released by the Ministry of Finance, which states that exports during the month of April registered a positive growth. From the prelims perspective, it is very important to note the percentage share of major commodity groups of exports as well as imports, as prelims is right around the corner. The major commodities which have reported a positive growth include firstly organic and inorganic chemicals, next plastic and linoleum, then engineering goods, followed by cotton yarns and fabrics, and finally drugs and pharmaceuticals. On the import side, the major commodity groups which showed a positive growth include firstly crude oil and petroleum, then transport equipment, followed by coal, coke and briquettes, organic and inorganic chemicals at the fourth place, and finally machinery. UPSC can either ask arranging these commodities in ascending or descending order, or a simple question on which of the following commodities maximum growth in the recent months. The final issue in news today is regarding the recently conducted assembly elections in the state of Karnataka, where neither of the parties have a clear mandate, resulting in a hung assembly. What is important to us from the examination perspective is the powers of the governor in case of a hung assembly, as well as the provisions under the anti-defection law. In this regard, please go through what are the constitutional as well as the situational discretionary powers granted to the governor and how different it is from that given to the president, along with the various disqualifications proposed under the 10th schedule of the constitution. Apart from these issues, the newspaper is filled with articles centered around the Karnataka Assembly elections, which are not of much importance to us from the examination perspective. Therefore, I call it a wrap on today's news analysis. Do share this content if you like it. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.